Welcome. Here we're going to talk about converting with compound units. So compound units is a term you may not have heard before. Let's consider an example. So if I have 250 feet per second, this is what I mean by a compound unit. Instead of just a straight unit, feet or yards or miles, I now have a fraction or a ratio of units, feet per second. So what this means is that I'm traveling 250 feet for every 1 second. And I like to write it that way because I think that's more clear about exactly what's happening. So let's say that I would like to convert this into miles per hour. Now, I have to convert both components, right? I need to convert feet into miles and I need to convert seconds into hours. So there's a few pieces of information that I need, right? First, I need to know how many feet are in a mile, and then I need to know how many seconds are in an hour. So I'll write some work over here on the side. 250. Okay, so sorry. 1 mile is equal to 5,280 feet. So I can write that as my equity fraction in one of two ways. I can either do 1 mile over 5,280 feet, or I could write it as 5,280 feet over 1 mile. Either is okay. What matters is what am I trying to achieve? So one of those two is going to be used. And then if I look at my seconds, so I don't know off the top of my head how many seconds are in an hour, but I do know how many seconds are in a minute. And I know how many minutes are in an hour. So I prefer to do it in a multi-step instead of finding out how many seconds are an hour because I don't have to look anything up. I just already know this information. So minute is equal to 60 seconds. So I'm going to either have 1 minute over 60 seconds or 60 seconds over 1 minute. And 1 hour is equal to 60 minutes. So my fractions will either be 1 hour over 60 minutes or 60 minutes over 1 hour. So I'm going to use some combination of these three things in order to achieve my answer. Let's go ahead and set it up. So I'll begin with what I'm given, right? Always start with the information you're given. 250 feet over 1 second. And what I need to do is I need to cancel the feet. In order to cancel the feet, I need to multiply it by the form which has feet in the denominator. So I'm going to multiply this by 1 mile over 5,280 feet. My units cancel for the feet and I'm left only with miles. So if I stopped here, I would have miles per second, which is not what I want. So now I need to address the seconds. The seconds are in the denominator. So in order to cancel it, I need to choose the form which has the seconds in the numerator. So I will write that here, 60 seconds over 1 minute. Here, my seconds cancel. If I look at my units now, I have miles per minute, which is closer, but still not what I want. I now need to get rid of the minutes. Again, I will look. The minutes are in the denominator. So I will choose the form which has minutes in the numerator in order to cancel. So I have 60 minutes divided by 1 hour. My minutes cancel. I am now left with only 2 units. I'm left with mile over hour. That's miles per hour, which is what I'm seeking. So now I know that I have written all the steps I need to write. What I need to do now is multiply everything through. So when we solve this, I'll start a new line here. Remember that when we multiply fractions, we multiply across the top and across the bottom. So what we're going to end up with here is 250 times 60 times 60. That's going to be in the numerator. So it's going to be a big number. 250 times 60 times 60, that's 900,000. And that is my miles. Divided by 5,280 hours. It's a little bit of a weird thing, but this is how we'll do it. So 5,280 times 1 times 1 times 1. That's how I'm getting that denominator. And then I will go ahead and divide the 900,000 by the 5,280. Now, you could do this all in one step. That's fine. I just want to be really clear about what I'm doing. And my final answer will be 170, about 0.5. I would probably round that. So sorry, it's 170.45. I'd probably just round down to 170 miles per hour, which is pretty darn fast. And then in terms of the rounding, it will depend on your class and your situation, what kind of rounding style you use. You will probably be given some direction on that. All right, well, thank you so much for watching. That is how we do conversions with compound units, where we have a unit both in the numerator as well as the denominator, and we have that multi-step process to go through.